Hello everyone, welcome to the Financial Information Channel. In this video I'm going to recap the earnings that happened last week. In addition, I'm going to preview the stock earnings that are going to happen next week. Now let's begin with the video. And the first company that reported earnings the week that just ended was Adobe Systems. Adobe actually has good earnings. It beat the EPS and revenue. It beat the EPS by 9 cents and the revenue by 20 millions. The revenue year to year is positive 26%. And one of the reasons why the stock actually moved down, the guidance was okay. And in addition, I think a lot of investors started to take some profit. I ended up getting some position around the $150 price. I think the stock might move down a little bit, and if it does, I'm gonna buy some more. I've been waiting for Adobe to drop in price, so it would be nice if the stock dropped around anywhere between 5 to 7%. And the next company that reported earnings was AutoZone. It beat the EPS and revenue. AutoZone beat the EPS by 7 cents and the revenue by 20 millions. The revenue year to year is 3.2%. And one of the good news they announced, the domestic same store sales actually increased by 1%. And AutoZone might start to come back. You might see the $600 price again in a few months. And the next company is Bed Bath & Beyond. It missed the EPS and revenue. And it missed the revenue by 70 millions. The revenue year to year is negative 1.7%. And the share price was around the high 20s. And I think at this moment is the low 20s. I think this company might continue going down in the next few months. And the next company that reported earnings was FedEx. And usually FedEx don't have a strong quarter, and that's what they show in the numbers. FedEx missed the revenue by 50 millions, and the revenue year to year is positive 4.4%. And FedEx guidance was a little bit weak, so the shares actually moved down a little bit during the week. And the next company is General Mills, and this company has a lot of issue growing, and it missed the EPS by 5 cents and the revenue by 20 millions. The revenue year to year is negative 3.6%. General Mills does have a good dividend yield, but it's not growing, so the company shares have moved down quite a bit during the last few months. And the last company that reported earnings on Friday was CarMax. It beat the EPS by 3 cents and it beat the revenue by 140 millions. The revenue year to year is positive 9.8%. And CarMax posted a really nice number of 5.3% comparable store sales. And I mentioned this company in the stock news here. I think this company is going to continue moving up during the next few months. After the company announced the earnings, the company share price moved around 7%. Now those were the 5 companies that reported earnings last week. Now we're gonna take a look at the companies that are gonna report next week. And the first company is Red Hat. And Red Hat, what they do, they're in charge of the operating system, which is Linux. And those operating systems are using servers. Now the company has moved over 52% for the year. They have beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 times. The other time was an inline, and they have beat the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times as well. And they have beaten the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. The company share price has moved 3 out of the last 4 quarters. And I think the company is going to beat the EPS and revenue, and the share price might move a little bit. However, at this moment, the share price is a little bit stretched. So I wouldn't be surprised if the company posts really good numbers and the share price goes down quite a bit. And the next company is Cintas. Now they design a lot of uniforms for work. Now they have beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4 times. The other 2 times were in line, and the revenue 1 out of the last 4 times. The other 3 times were in line. And I think Cintas is gonna beat the EPS and revenue, and the share price might move up. At this moment, the company share price has moved only 18%. The next company that is going to report next week is Darden Restaurants. The company has beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 times. The other time was an inline, and it has beat the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. The share price has moved up after the company has announced the earnings the last 4 quarters. Darden Restaurants will probably beat the EPS and revenue, and the company has moved over 13% in 2017. And the next company that is going to report earnings is Micron Technology. Now Micron has been awesome during the last 4 quarters in terms of beating the EPS and revenue. It has beat the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. However, the share price has only moved only twice out of the last 4 quarters. And I think Micron will beat the EPS and revenue. However, at this moment, I think the share price might move down a little bit. I still think over the long term, this company will continue moving up. And Micron Technology has gone up over 64% in 2017. And the next company is Nike. Now Nike has beaten the EPS 3 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 3 out of the last 4 times. However, the share price has only moved twice out of the last 4 quarters. And I think Nike will beat the EPS and revenue again. However, the share price might not move as much. The last time the share price moved over 10%. In 2017, Nike has gone up over 4%. Now let's go to the next company, which is Thor Industries. Now Thor Industries has beat the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue 4 out of the last 4 times. And Thor Industries has moved in price 3 out of the last 4 quarters. And I think Thor Industries will beat the EPS and revenue, and the share price might move up depending on the guidance. Thor has gone up over 14% in 2017. And the next company is Accenture PLC. These are telecommunication companies in Europe. Now the company has beaten the EPS 2 out of the last 4 times with 1 in line, and they have beaten the revenue 1 out of the last 4 quarters with 1 in line. And the company share price has moved down 3 out of the last 4 quarters. And this is one of the companies that even though the share price has moved down, the company over the long term has moved quite a bit. And the company has moved up over 17% in 2017. And the last company to report earnings next week is going to be BlackBerry. Now BlackBerry has beaten the EPS 4 out of the last 4 times and the revenue only 1 out of the last 4 quarters. And the company share price has moved up only 2 times out of the last 4 quarters after they announced the earnings. And I think BlackBerry will probably beat on the EPS and miss on the revenue. Now the share price movement will depend on the guidance, and I think the share price will probably move up after they announce the earnings. BlackBerry has gone up over 32% in 2017. And as you saw, those are the companies that are going to report next week. Let me know in the comment sections below if you're investing or if you plan to invest in any of the companies mentioned in this video. The 3 companies that I'm going to keep an eye for next week is Nike, Micron, and Red Hat. And remember, you can subscribe to the Financial Information channel. I'm going to continue bringing videos about the stock market, personal finance, and how to make money online. I'm going to thank you once again for watching the video. Have an excellent day and take care, my friends.